than from the professional admissions consultant perspective. So I came to the United States a couple of years ago as, surprisingly, an English language teacher, as Victoria said, to do my master's degree in TESOL. TESOL is an abbreviation for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. While taking classes in my university, I had a foreign language lecturer position teaching Russian and English at West Virginia University. When I graduated from my master's program, I was offered a full-time teaching position in the university, which I rejected as I started preparing for the application for the business schools. With literally zero background in business, I set my goal to be admitted into a West Virginia University business school with a maximum amount of financial aid possible. And today I'll walk you through my admission adventure from the first step, which was deciding to go back to school for my MBA, to the last one, securing the maximum amount of financial aid. So here is a more detailed overview of the topics that we're going to talk about today. First, we'll talk about why pursue a degree from a business school, particularly an MBA. Second, we'll discuss the criteria that need to be taken into consideration when choosing a business school. Later, we'll focus on what you actually need to get into a business school, and finally, but equally importantly, how to pay for it. And at the very end, as Victoria said, you'll have an opportunity to ask your questions, which Victoria and I will gladly answer. Okay, so if you Google the phrase, why do I need an MBA? You'll probably are going to get about 11 million results, which more or less have the same reasoning behind them. So to start with, MBA is a great investment for work professionals who want to get a deeper expertise in their field, whether it is general management, finance, HR, or data science, while opening better and bigger career opportunities. Let's assume you are a business analyst with 3 to 4 years of working experience in a local medical center, and you feel like you're approaching that stage when you are ready to be promoted to either a management role or just a higher level position. Now, having an MBA will facilitate that transition since its purpose is to make you an effective manager. And the prestige of the credential is here too, and it will give you a competitive edge over your colleagues without it in the eyes of your employer. And finally, but also very importantly, having an MBA will bump up your pay quite drastically. And here are some figures for you that were presented by the US News and World Report quite recently. As you can see, the average salary for 2016 graduates of the full-time programs was over $126,000 a year. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, graduates who went into the nonprofit sector earned an average of over $81,000 a year. Now, don't think that, oh, those Ivy League schools, of course, they're crashing the bank. Graduates at 73 of the 113 schools that submitted this data to US News earned an average starting salary and bonus of more than $90,000 a year. So if you are getting your MBA from a school that is ranked, let's say, at 73 or 72, your chances of getting a good salary after it are still quite high. Now let's look at another scenario. You are a business owner or an upper-level manager with 7 to 10 years of managing experience, leading teams in the United States or in any other countries. You're thinking of venturing out into new geographical or even product markets. Going back to school for an MBA will benefit people with significant working experience because it will equip them with strategic thinking, critical analysis and analytical skills, and give them an opportunity to work on their team building skills in international context. Let alone the fact that good MBA programs provide plenty of networking opportunities that will help you look at your business role or your business or your role from a bigger picture perspective. So if we're talking about the top ranking business schools, many of them fly their students out to international locations like Asia or Latin America and organize very nice networking events where you can actually learn from interacting with industry leaders or top business professionals or just very outstanding specialists in certain fields. And I think this is great. That's one of the biggest reasons to go into a business school. Now you might wonder what was there for me in an MBA degree. Apparently I was neither an entry-level business professional nor an expert with multiple years of working experience. And here I'm kind of driving you to one more reason to do an MBA, which is to shift careers. So if you were an English teacher like I was, an artist, or something completely different, and you feel like you could have a lot of potential in the business world, but don't know how to get your foot in the door, doing an MBA will help you to get started in this new field, because apart from academic knowledge, MBA students and graduates enjoy a multitude of internship opportunities, which are kind of, to be honest, for non-business majors. So basically, this is the list of the reasons why one should consider doing an MBA, but it's in no way exhaustive. Every person has a different story, and it's very important to understand for yourself why you need to go to the business school. Now, let's assume you've decided to apply for business school. Where do you actually start looking? And the natural thing to do would probably be go to the US News and World Report and look at the school rates. And you'll see that there are a lot of wonderful, great business schools like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, and many more. But once you start looking at the school selection criteria and the tuition, you might feel a little bit discouraged or even give up, right? Well, now here's my advice. If you know that chances for you of getting into an Ivy League school are quite slim, do expand your search. Look into some programs in the top 50 or even 100. Now, I know that a lot of people are saying there's no real point of doing an MBA if it is not an elite top school, but I'm very inclined to argue that. While there is no doubt that top-ranking schools open an immense variety of opportunities, and please aim for the best. If you have great test scores and a very good background, and you can afford going there, absolutely apply for a top school. But good programs outside the rating also can have excellent job placement, wonderful career development resources, and knowledgeable professors. And also, regional schools do attract employers across the state. For example, here in WVU Business School, we have a big presence of Washington, D.C. and Pittsburgh employers on campus who make great career events and competitions, and they're actively looking for outstanding students. And a great number of our students actually find jobs there, and they move after they're done with their school. But those who do not want to move to a bigger city, they're enjoying the career opportunities at the local employers. The healthcare industry is big in our area, and they're hiring crazy from our business school. And speaking of another very important perk of a smaller school is that they are much cheaper compared to top elite Ivy League schools. Now, do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that any small program is good. You absolutely need to do your own research. And by research, I mean talk to the program directors, look at their curriculum, inquire about career events, talk to the former students and to the current students. But certainly don't ignore those schools because they're not in the rating. And one more thing to say about the school choice. Before finalizing the list of the schools that you're going to apply, if that's possible, do take time and effort and visit the campus. I understand it's not very easy to do, and especially if you are from a different country, but at least do some good research on the area where the school is, and I mean area geographically and culturally, because you'll be spending 2 years at least of your life in the area, and you want to make sure that you not only fit academically into the school, but also fit culturally. You like the people around you, you like the geographical area, and you like the community. And honestly, when I was choosing my school, I did not do any research on the geographical area. I kind of knew that it was a small college town, but I didn't understand what is a small college town in the United States. And when I came here, I was quite in a shock because I'm originally from a big city, and it took me quite a while to adapt to new surroundings and to new people around me. So absolutely be very aware of the place where you're going. And I mean, it sounds quite trivial, but take your time to do your research. Okay, let's assume you've chosen the program and are looking at the application requirements. And a typical application package will ask you to submit an application form, a resume, test scores, GMAT or GRE, and TOEFL or IELTS, the English language tests. Also, 2 to 3 letters of recommendations, a motivational letter, which is sometimes referred to as SOP, statement of purpose, and occasionally you'll be asked to write essays for the scholarship application. Very often you'll almost be invited for an interview, and in my case I did not have an interview, and I was very glad about that. So from my personal experience, the 2 most time and effort consuming pieces were the motivational letter, where you had to explain why you want to do a business degree. And throughout my career, I worked in teaching, in event planning, and even sales. So I had to tie it all in together, like all those diverse pieces of my biography, and it had to look professional, but at the same time a little bit personal, and show the admissions committee what I see for my future, what are my career aspirations. It was just 1 page, but I had come up with a logical, sincere, yet extremely memorable writing piece. And remember that the admissions committee have thousands of essays to read, and yours definitely needs to stand out. It has to be creative, but formal. At the same time, it needs to have a nice stylistic flow, because it needs to be very easy to read. However, it should show you as a person and as a professional where you are right now, what were your biggest achievements in the past, and where you're going. Why do you need a business degree? Where is this degree going to take you? Now I have some advice for you when you're writing about your achievements. Some of your achievements might not seem as outstanding to you, and you might just ignore them, but think how you can brand all of the achievements that you had. For example, when I was writing my motivational letter for business school, I wrote about summer job that I had in the United States. I worked in the sales team of a small beachfront entertainment store in Ocean City, Maryland, and we had contests, we had sales contests, and I won all of the contests of the season. Now you might think that, oh, it's not really relevant, it was like 5 years ago and it was just a summer job, it's not a serious point. However, that does show you, how my interest in business started, and what kind of person I am, and the fact that I was good at sales mean I can communicate very well with people. So I did include that story. And another example, another thing that I included in my statement of purpose was the fact that as an English language teacher, every semester I had to give my students questionnaires, anonymous questionnaires that they had to fill out about me, and they were anonymous, so they could write whatever they wanted. And those were official forms that later we submitted to our managers and supervisors. And in 2 semesters of my teaching, I did not get a single negative comment. Now, again, it might seem like, oh, it's a little bit, you know, outside of the business world. It's like your teaching career, so how does it matter? But still, it shows that you can establish great rapport with people. You have excellent presentation and communication skills, which are also crucial in the business school, in the business world. So you have to really dig deep in your memory and find the things that make you unique as a person and as a professional. And I even used my immigration experience, because I was an immigrant twice. I moved from Georgia when I was very young. I mean, Georgia, the country, the Republic of Georgia, to Russia, and then from Russia to the United States, because I think people who move a lot, they have very high resilience to stress. They're easily adaptable and very flexible. So I included that as well to create a picture of my personality. And I advise you to do the same. And of course, you'll have absolutely different story. So try to play up your strengths and stand out of the crowd in a good way. Think of yourself as what value you're going to add to the business school. And I understand this is not an easy task for just 1 page, so leave yourself a good amount of time to work on that. This document, honestly, is one of the most important, if not the most important, pieces of your application. And my personal tip, when I write motivational letters, I always give myself plenty of time, a couple of weeks at least. So I do my first draft, then I let it sit for a couple of days, trying to completely forget about it. Then I come back to the motivational letter, I work on it a little more, I do some corrections, and I edit it, and then again I live it, and I try to forget about it. So I keep coming back and forth until I know this is the absolute best that I can do. And when I look at my draft, my last final draft, I can definitely see the difference with my first one. And for sure, you need to ask your friends, your relatives, former professors for feedback. Give them your motivational letter and ask what they think about it. And never assume that people will read between lines, because they have thousands of those essays to read. They're not going to try to figure out what you meant, so you have to be very clear and very memorable. You really need to catch their attention, to grab it and make them read it up to the end. So definitely seek as much feedback as you can from different individuals. Now, another piece of the application package that most students tend to stress about extremely is the test scores. Now, more and more schools are giving you the options of taking either GMAT or GRE. And in my case, I preferred GRE, since GMAT math section seemed harder to me and I only had about 2 months to prepare for it. So my GRE prep routine consisted of a couple of hours daily set aside for verbal and quantitative sections. Now, you need to understand that I haven't done math in the past 10 years. And being a language specialist, it wasn't my favorite either. So it took a great deal of effort and time from my side to get my average, very average high school math skills back. And although I anticipated fewer problems with the verbal part, I did feel I needed to push quite hard there too. And while most people were advising me to concentrate on my weak side, the quantitative section, and not to stress out about verbal too much, I decided to pay equal attention to both. And guess what? I scored extremely high on the verbal, somewhere in the mid-90s percentile, and below average on math. But due to the fact that I had a very strong verbal score, my overall score was quite good. So my advice for you regarding preparation for tests would be not to ignore any part in the exam, even if it seems like you're going to nail it, because this part that you are strong at might actually be the one bumping up your overall score up. So in my case, I didn't have an interview with school representatives, but if it is a part of your application process, for sure allow time to prepare for it as well. Finally, we got around to discuss how you're going to actually finance your MBA. And here I'll focus on most lucrative and not so common options here. We all know there are plenty of loans available out there, and I won't really talk about that because there's plenty of information online, and a loan is a loan. You take it and you have to pay it back eventually, so it's not that great. Now, there are other financing options like your employer sponsorship, but again, not every employer wants to pay for your education, and you might not want to tie yourself with a certain employer for a couple of years. There are also a lot of external organizations that might have fellowships for certain kinds of candidates. But again, I didn't find any fellowship available for me. So today I'll focus more on the two options, the scholarships and graduate assistantship positions. And while I talk about them, I want you to think of them at two levels, at the university level and the college or the business school level. So you probably know what is a scholarship. A scholarship is an amount of money that you're paid and you're not expected to return. So when you're going to apply for business school, do research scholarships that are available at the university level and at the business school level. There might be a diversity scholarship that's available for like people from India or Russia or Latin America, for example. Or there might be a very specific scholarship in business school that you might apply for. So when I applied for business school, I got a scholarship from the business school. And I was actually very surprised because, I mean, my tests were not that great. And I had literally zero background in business, but I still got it. It was about $3,000 a semester. And honestly, this is not that good because you know how expensive MBAs are. So even if you have $3,000 extra, it's great, but it's not going to really solve all of your problems. So scholarships are, I mean, it's obvious. You find information online, you apply for them, you get it or you don't get it. Now there's one more big resource that I'm going to talk about, which is, as I said, a graduate assistantship position or a GA. And this is basically a part-time job that you're getting together with your admissions decision. Now, when I was applying for my master's in English education, I knew that my department, again, we're talking right now at the department level, my department of linguistics, they had a certain number of GA positions, and the GA position was to teach foreign language classes to undergraduate students, and it was a 20-hour weekly job. So I was basically responsible for Russian courses and later for English courses. So I was a university lecturer, and what they gave me in return was a fully paid university and college tuition, a monthly stipend, and that stipend was pretty good. I could definitely live on the stipend, and also health insurance. But now when I was applying for a business school, I realized that I can't really teach anything in the business school because I never had statistics in my life. I never had like advanced maths in my life. But if you are coming from a business background, you can definitely research some teaching assistantship positions within the business school. You could teach economics 101, for example, or statistics 101. And as I said, in my case, I could not do that. So I started researching the GA positions on the university level. And as you know, American colleges are huge in terms of, they are very huge and complex in terms of their organization. So they have plenty of departments. And I made a list of all the departments that I thought had GA positions available. And I emailed every single department asking whether they had anything. And not everyone responded to me, obviously, but some of them did. And I eventually got a GA position from the Student Excellence Office, and I'm going to be working as a student success advisor. So when undergraduate students have any academic problems, or they want to improve their academic skills, or if they lose their motivation for continuing their education, they would come to me and I'm going to help them with that. So that's how I'm going to finance my MBA. And again, the conditions are very similar. I get full university tuition covered. I don't get college fees covered, but this is not a big deal because the biggest part of the payment is the university tuition, and I'm also going to get a monthly stipend and health insurance. Now, not all universities, of course, have this arrangement, but many do, and I just advise you to contact a lot of people. Don't be afraid to do that. Contact them, email them, call them. Go there if you can, and ask for those opportunities. And you don't necessarily have to be teaching. For example, there are research assistantships. For example, let's assume you have great statistics knowledge. You know how to process data, how to collect data and analyze it. You might find a GA position available with a certain professor within your department or even outside your department, and you'll be assisting him or her with their research, and you'll get your GA position through that. Or what if you, what if you worked in marketing? There is a marketing department in every university, and some of those departments might be hiring GA positions in marketing. So you might get this as well and help them with their social media and so on. So there are a lot of options available. Just don't think that people will tell you about them. You need to do your own research for sure, because in my university, they don't advertise it anywhere. So I had to actually take action and go meet with people, talk to them about that. They're extremely competitive, as I said, because everyone wants to get a degree for free, right? Good thing is that after the 2 years of your master's degree, you'll actually have working experience in the United States. But on the other hand, let's say you don't really need that. Let's say you can afford paying for your degree. You can always look for internships or volunteering opportunities on campus or outside campus. So there are a lot of things that you can do. And speaking of the application process for those GA positions, it really depends. Sometimes, as I said, you just simply apply for a program and you get admissions decision together with the financial package. So they're going to tell you what GA positions they assigned to you. And in my case, it wasn't like that. So I had to actually seek those opportunities and apply separately for each of them. And the process was very similar to like applying for a job in the United States. I submitted my resume, my cover letter, I had interviews. So it's basically like getting a job. It's just half of your pay comes through financing your education. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And now I'm going to turn the floor over to Victoria, who's going to tell you a couple of words about the company and what wonderful things they've been doing for a long time. Victoria, please.
Okay, Victoria. Okay. Thank you, Olga. Thank you very much for your inspiring story. and I really wish you good luck as a business school student.
Thank you.
Now let's talk a few words about MBA Strategy Company. We have been engaged in assisting over 2,000 business school applicants since 2003, and most of them have been admitted to their target programs. Our customers background in admissions consulting makes us an effective guide for business school candidates, strengthening their profiles with expert insight and recommendations. We guide our clients for the whole application process. What I mean? Starting from free 30-minute consultations about your profile assessment and finishing with preparing for the interview with your business school. It's just a few numbers about our success stories. We have 21 successful admissions to Chicago booth. We have 11 successful admissions to Duke, Fuqua Business School. We have 7 successful admissions to Wharton, 6 to Berkeley, 4 to Stanford, and 4 to Harvard. It's just for the last 3 years. Maybe what can we have for you right now? I think that the best way to help you right now is to register for our free 30-minute consultation at our website online. Yes, and it's very easy. Just go to our website mbstrategy.com, register for 30-minute consultation, leave your resume, leave answers to our questionnaire section questions, and you will have a very productive and effective 30-minute consultation with one of our experts. Or you may contact directly me at my email or my Skype, or Olga, if you have, of course, questions to Olga about her admissions experience. Okay, so now it's time for our final questions and answers section. We'd be happy to answer your queries right now. Please type your questions in our chat room. We will be waiting with Olga for your typing, for your questions.
Great time to ask because there are just 2 of you and we can give you very personalized attention.
Yes, let's have a free consultation right now.
Okay, I see someone's typing. Sure, it was our pleasure.
You're welcome, John. Any questions, Julia? Maybe you have your personal queries right now about your profile or any business school. Okay, I have a question regarding financial aid or scholarships. Is it mostly income-based or academic or leadership potential? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there are 2 types of scholarships. It's need-based and merit-based scholarships. Of course, need-based, as usual, need-based scholarships are more easier to get because merit-based scholarships are very, very competitive. You must have very high academic scores, GPA. Yes, it's about 4.0. You must have very high scores on your GMAT. You should impress with your background, professional background, your career goals, and your achievements. So I think that maybe there are more chances to get income-based or need-based, as it's usually called, need-based scholarships.
Can I add something too?
Have I answered your question? Okay. Julia doesn't have any questions.
Can I say a couple of words, Victoria, too, about the income-based and...
Okay.
Do you guys hear me? Victoria, do you hear me? I think our... Okay. I think everyone hears now, but Victoria.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
Victoria, do you hear me there?
Okay, yes, it's okay now. Okay.
Okay. So the question was whether it's mostly income-based or academic and leadership. I would say, honestly, I would say no matter whether the scholarship is income-based or not, if you do have a lower income or you're coming from a country like a developing country, do say that in your essay, do say that in your motivational letter, because it's not obvious to them that you might need some financial aid. So when you're talking about your leadership potential and academic achievements, for sure you also need to say that, hey, by the way, for example, when I was applying for a program in linguistics, I said I'm officially from a low-income family. I have one parent, and I cannot pay for my education. So this actually might help you. And of course, you should be honest and you shouldn't be lying. If that's not the case, then definitely do not mention it. But if you for some reason certain circumstances in your life prevent you from paying for school, talk about them in your application. I'm not going to say that they will, whenever they see someone asking for money, they'll give this money, but it doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Yes, just speak out, yes?
Mm-hmm. I've written in every document that I've submitted that, by the way, I need to be financed. Like every single essay question or every single statement of purpose, I emphasize that.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Any other questions, guys? Maybe some general questions about studying in the United States or working in the United States, college life, campus. Right, right. Where are you from? I mean, the United States. Mm-hmm. Well, you can always use our free initial consultation with our advisors, and they'll be able to tell you whether your credentials qualify for a top school like Chicago Blues, for sure. Right, Victoria?
Yes. Which program are you applying? At Keller called Chicago Booth. MBA? Okay, great. Very good idea. Great plans. Okay, John, you're welcome to send your CV and to write your career goals, post-MBA goals, and I'll be happy to assess your chances for free in written or verbal form through our conversation. So you are welcome to register. Of course, it would be very great to know your GMAT scores before consultation. But we have many other criteria to assess your profile. I think we can start, if you do not have GMAT scores right now, we can look through your achievements, your career path, your growth and development as a professional and a person, and your career goals. Okay. Okay,
Yeah, I
great.
think that's the best decision.
Okay, let's start with your profile. Good. So, if you do not have any more questions right now, but you will certainly have them later, you are welcome to contact us to register for consultation, to write directly to my email by Skype, to write directly to Olga. I'm very grateful you for your time, for taking your time for our webinar. And thank you very much, Olga, for your time and for sharing your experience.
Sure, it was my pleasure.
Your great input to our webinar. Okay, so I wish you good or maybe great, great Saturday and Sunday weekends, and see you all via email or at our website or on Skype. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.